Hi, how are you? Welcome to my kitchen again. Today, we're going to fool around with something, and I mean fool around, with something that's rather strange. It's called the chicken wing. Now, normally I try and give you the historical background of a dish, but chicken wings have just always been attached to chicken, so I don't know what to say. The chicken originally was taken care of by the Chinese, first of all. They were the first ones to domesticate the chicken, and I assume the wings came along with them. So today we want to do chickens, and I'm doing this whole binge today in honor of a friend that I've met only once. You know, you have some friends you know really well, and they don't know who you are. His name is Calvin Trillin. He is my hero because he's able to fly around the country and eat everywhere, and they pay him for this. And he researched the buffalo chicken wing. That's one of the dishes I want to do for you today. Incidentally, if you don't know who he is, find his books. His first one was called American Fried. It will just kill you, it's so funny. Marvelous the stories of eating all over the country. The second one, and I think his best one, was called Alice Let's Eat. His poor bride goes with him everywhere. And his most recent one is called Third Helping. And in that you can see the research that he goes to come up with the crazy recipes such as buffalo wings from Buffalo, New York. Let me show you how to cut a chicken wing. They're very inexpensive, you know. You can buy a chicken wing. Chicken wings are about 59 cents a pound on a good time. So I want to cut the wing into three pieces. You see, you have a thick part, which is close to the shoulder of the bird, and then a medium part, just like your own arm, and then kind of a hand. Is that terrible to tell you to cut the hand off? Oh, I shouldn't say those things. Anyhow, we're talking about the thick part up here, and then the middle part, and then the hand, you see? And I throw those into three different bowls so that I can keep things separated from my cooking. We'll do another one. If you lay the wing down thusly, you see, lay the wing down bent this way on the board. See what I'm doing? It will kind of show you right away where the joint is. It'll be very simple to cut it up. Okay, here we go. Now, we'll separate the pieces into bowls, and what I want to do is to save the wing tips for soup, and this big thick part we'll make into Chinese drumsticks, and then the middle part of the wing we can use in all sorts of good dishes. So let me start in on a chicken drumstick for you. These are so much fun. Here's what you do to make a chicken drumstick. Cut the meat using a very sharp knife. Cut the meat from the small end of the bone right through to the bone. Just turn it until you can completely separate it from the bone itself. You see? There. And then you simply pull it down with your fingers. There it is. And you have a little drumstick. Isn't that cute? Can we do another one for you? Not what I call complicated, but easy to do. Smallest end of the biggest piece of chicken meat, you see? Want to turn your knife against the bone on the small end so that you cut the meat and any tendon that should be there right off the bone, and you just pull it down. That's what you see in a Chinese restaurant, you know. Particularly northern restaurants enjoy doing this sort of thing. A little extra fat that we don't need. You know, most of the fat on the chicken is in the skin, and if you get rid of the chicken skin, you're getting rid of most of the fat. So chickens are very efficient in terms of your need to cut down on animal fat. They work well. All right, let's get started with our first dish, and this is, excuse the noise, this is, here, look, I have a whole bunch of chicken wings ready for you, and we'll put, 15 or so of these into a pan, into a bowl, and we're going to add 2 tablespoons of light soy sauce. 1, 2. We're going to add a couple tablespoons of sherry, dry, for heaven's sakes. Remember, don't use cooking sherry. All that is sherry that has salt in it. It's terrible to start with, and it's terrible later on. And there we go, 2 tablespoons of sherry. That was quite a bit, wasn't it, Jesse? You were watching very closely. A little bit of sugar. I want about a 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. Won't take much. And a couple teaspoons of fresh ginger. Now, fresh ginger is purchased in the supermarket for the most part, and this is called a hand of ginger. It's a big one, will have many, many fingers. We just want to use a little bit of ginger here, a couple of teaspoons, and it must be fresh. Dry ginger has, that's not like instant garlic. Vainly invented, terrible stuff to use. You don't want it in your house. Fresh ginger has a very cleansing flavor on all animal fats. Okay, now we need a couple of teaspoons of Chinese 5-spice. This is the most interesting blend of cinnamon and allspice and a powdered ginger in this case, and anise. So I'm going to use just a couple of little teaspoons here. There we go. But I generally buy this already packaged in the Chinese market. One little bag will cost you about $1, and it'll last you for a long, long time. Now we need 4 tablespoons of cornstarch. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's our coating, you see, for the wings, and we'll just toss these about. See how my fat is doing? Everything looks good. Yeah, whoops. I need some more cornstarch in there because I put in too much sherry, so this is not thickening properly. Understand what I'm saying? Hope so. Because if not, we're both in trouble. Okay, there, that's good. I just wanted to form a very light coating on the chicken wings. I made a sauce for the wings of light soy, sherry, sugar, ginger, a little bit of 5-spice, and some cornstarch. Now we'll dip them and set them into hot fat. The fats should be at about 375, and you remember, of course, I always use peanut oil because I don't want you to get sick from peroxides that form when you use lighter oils. They burn at high temperatures. Just right. Oh, this is beautiful. Sure, and push them down a bit when you drop them in. You know, reform the drumstick, which I messed up while I was mixing it. This is a very good dish. And it's not at all expensive. And that helps, you know? Very elegant. There we go. What a mess, but it's more fun. They're just delicious. You may have to shake them a bit when they first begin. Yes, they're fine. Shake them a bit so that they don't... Gee, my oil was awfully hot, wasn't it? Look at that. See, they're almost done. You should take about 6 minutes to do yours. My oil was awfully hot, and it's toasting the outside a little more than it should, so I'm going to turn the oil off right now and let them finish in the pan. It'll just be a minute. Okay, let's go on to another one. If you prepare, let me see, another bowl here. Well, awfully big one, but we'll do it. If you want to prepare some steamed chicken wings, very simple recipe. We'll use some of the middle part and some of the, let's see, the middle part and the upper part. The tips, remember, we're saving for sauce of some sort or soup. Now, into this one, we're going to add a little bit of light soy, about 1/8 of a cup, and the same amount of sherry. Oh, so 1 clove of garlic crushed up. These are awfully stinky little cloves. I think I'll use 2. All right. A little bit of ginger. Remember the old ginger camp here? Oh, 1/2 teaspoon, something like that. And a green onion. And I'm going to have to chop that, but in the meantime, I better get my Chinese drumsticks with 5-spice powder on them out of the fat, or we're going to lose them here, overdo them. Let's see, platter with the bit of towel on it. We want to drain some of the fat, you see. So there we go. Now let's see what they look like. Oh, aren't these cute little rascals, you see? I love it. I want to taste these right now, but as you can imagine, they're just a little hot. Just a little bit. Okay. Now we'll arrange these on a bed of lettuce so that when we bring them to the table, they will have some color to them and look rather attractive. I could finish the pot. You know, I didn't cook all of these, you see. There we go. Oh, they're so good. And the kids will love them. You know, funky, private, little bitty drumsticks, they think that's so in, you know, so cool. Children love private stuff. My youngest boy, Jason, for years and years, would always defend the underdog, little people, little things. And he still does. He's getting to be an older fellow now, but he still defends little things. And he enjoys them. All kids do. There we go. All right, now, back to our steamed chicken wings, Chinese style. I have in my pan a little bit of soy, a little bit of sherry, a little bit of ginger, a clove of garlic. I'm going to throw in 1 green onion. There we go. And I think that's about ready. Just a pinch of sugar, just a smidgen here. What's that, 1/4 of a teaspoon? Something like that, and we're all set. Now we want to marinate. Let these marinate for, oh, half an hour. Then we'll put them in a steamer. I have mine are all ready here. Let's take out a batch. I've steamed them for about 20 minutes. Doesn't take long. That's the other good thing about chicken wings. You see, they're small pieces of meat, and they'll cook quickly. And they have a lot of natural gelatin in them, so that they don't, there we are, they have a great deal of flavor, and you don't have to worry too much about the fat content, though they are a little fatty. Let's see if I can get this out of here. Very hot. There we got it. Okay. Now, I don't want to carry this across my wok full of hot oil. Remember, very, very dangerous if you drop oil into a wok. Steamed after 20 minutes, the wings look like this. Aren't they gorgeous? Now, if you want to use that same recipe, that very same recipe for steamed wings and bake them, no problem. $3.75 for about, look at this, I just keep taking stuff out of the hallway here, the walls, everything. $3.75 for about 35 or 40 minutes, and you have a lovely dish. There. So far, we have only 3 here, you see. So let's keep it up. Let's keep up the fun. I'm going to get rid of my fat here. It makes me nervous. Don't ever deep fry with children in the kitchen. Ever, ever, ever. Send them out. And if you don't have, I'm using a wok, you see, because it's easy to control a fire that way. If the oil gets too hot on you and you forget, then and that it catches a flame, don't try and move the wok or do anything except put a lid right on it right away. You may singe your wrist a bit. That's all right. But you're going to put out the fire and save the house and the children and the hamster and the goldfish and the whole works, all right? So do it. There we are. Now that can quietly bubble in the background and that won't bother me. All right, let's go on to some more dishes with chicken wings. The next one I want to do for you is, are you ready? It's called a lewd wing. Don't start laughing. Lewd is spelled L-O-O-E-D. It has nothing to do with eroticism or anything else. It's a very simple dish to do. We're going to simmer them in a dark sauce. And the sauce is made of equal parts of water and soy sauce. So we're going to use a cup of water and a cup of soy sauce. And then to that, we're going to add a little bit of sherry, just about 1/4 of a cup. Zip, there it is. And we need to add some ginger, fresh ginger, but this time I'm going to slice it into little quarter-sized pieces, about 3 or 4 of these. Lewd wings and spaghetti wings. A lot of children write me letters and tell me that they like to watch me cook because they hear silly things, and you know, I can't help that. Cooking is a very silly occupation in the sense that one has to seek out a great deal of joy if you're going to really enjoy the table and enjoy what you're doing. And so it is kind of a silly occupation. I think it's just great fun. Okay, that's enough pasta. This is a penalishi, heavy penalishi. Where's my ladle here? Well, I'll have to find one. Excuse me for a second. This has got to be one of those days, huh? Okay. There. Oops. Spaghetti sauce with chicken wings in it. Make it just a lovely, lovely flavor. And you can sit and chew on the bones. You know, another thing the Chinese do with a chicken wing is to cook it so long in deep fat that the wing, the tip of the wing is crusty and toasted itself. And then they eat the whole thing. You nibble on the tip of the wing. So good. That looks rather drab. Let's try some parsley. There we go. And a little bit of cheese. We'll put some cheese right down the center here. Isn't that beautiful? There you see. All right. Chicken wings and spaghetti sauce. Pasta wings. Okay. Now, I've got to find room for our biggie here that's coming up, because now we're gonna get into the serious stuff for Calvin Trillin. I want to show you how to make buffalo chicken wings. They tell me that this dish originated in a bar in Buffalo, New York. Now, I don't know whether that's true or not, but I believe too many things, I suppose, so probably the case. Anyhow, one night a fellow was trying to get rid of some chicken wings in a tavern, and he deep fried them, served them with a hot sauce, and because he had nothing else in the joint, as the story goes, he served them with roquefort dressing and celery sticks. If you believe it, I'll believe it. Here's the recipe. In your frying pan, melt 1 cube of margarine. Ugh. Ugh. But butter would be too rich. Just can't be helped. I have already prepared some chicken wings by deep frying them, you see? And once the margarine is melted, I'm going to throw them into the pan and we'll heat them up that way. I've already cooked these ahead of time, so we'll just heat them up a bit. Very interesting dish. The sauce is made of hot sauce and butter or margarine. And we toss the chicken wings in the butter or margarine along with the hot sauce and then serve them on a big platter. Well, I'll show you. Here we go. In the center of the platter has a bowl of Roquefort dressing. Now, you can make your own, but in this particular one, I've added an additional bit of lemon juice to a good Roquefort dressing that you make. You see, make your own, for heaven's sakes. If you want a recipe for it, write us a note. We'll send you a whole book full of recipes, and this one's in it. I've added an additional bit of lemon juice and a shot of stiff wine vinegar, so it's rather tart, because the chicken is very rich, and you need the tartness to cut it. That is good stuff. All right, here we go. Now, into our pan. The recipe calls for 1 stick of margarine, the one that I found in Buffalo, 1 stick of margarine and 2 tablespoons of hot sauce. Now, you know as well as I do that that stuff would kill. Good Lord. So I'm going to use just 1 tablespoon, and we'll just half kill, all right? That's plenty. Well, either way. When you fry hot sauce in oil like this, and part of the potency goes, so maybe we'll get by. Maybe we'll get by. And the chicken pieces. You notice that I've taken them off of paper, wax paper. I want you to always put things, not wax paper, paper towel, so that they will absorb the fat. You don't want all that oil around. Okay, now we'll cook those down a bit. Just warm them up in the hot sauce. Isn't this a wild dish? And it is fun to serve because you can tell everyone ahead of time, tonight we're going to have buffalo wings. The name is so strange. Buffalo wings. They can't imagine what you're talking about. The name is so strange that they cannot wait to get to the table. And for me, that's part of the fascination of cooking. I call it not setting the table, but setting up the guests. You see, set them up with something so interesting that they can't help but enjoy themselves. So set the table and then set up your guests, all right? Now, let's get these out to serve them here. I think they're ready. If only there was room. What are we going to do? Chicken wings, good Lord. Okay, we'll just do it anyhow. We'll just do it anyhow. I'm going to put them around the dressing. There we go. And then the idea is to eat them along with a bit. You dip them right in the dressing, and you dip the celery sticks in the dressing as well. I know it sounds crazy, but isn't that story sensible? This happened in a bar one night when the cook didn't have much around but chicken wings, and people wanted to eat, and he had some leftover Roquefort dressing, and he invented a marvelous dish. Now, someone in Buffalo is going to hear me say that and call me up or write me a note and say, no, the real story is Calvin Trillin claims that there are something like 13 traditions, oral traditions behind this dish, and it's probably true. Something's bubbling over here. I see what it is. All right. I think we've had it. I want to taste some of these things with you. If you remember now, wings are very inexpensive, so you can create something that's really very delicious without a lot of expense. Secondly, while they do have a lot of fat because the skin is intact, they also contain a lot of gelatin, so they're going to be very moist and yummy to the tongue. That's why the Chinese love them, because they're very gelatinous. The wing is marvelously gelatinous. And the wingtip will make heavenly soup. The Chinese claim that if you use chicken feet, the foot, not the arm or the leg, the foot, right? You peel the foot and put it in soup. Chicken wing tips and Chinese chicken feet in the soup with a few raw peanuts and some Chinese mushrooms, and you have a soup that will heal all kinds of diseases. I don't argue with them. I just eat the soup. I feel fine. Must work. Here it is. Well, Smith, you've done it. I can't even begin to figure out how to point these out to you. Let's just rearrange a few things here. Okay, I think we're ready. I want to give you instruction now as to how to eat a buffalo chicken wing. You pick up the wing and dip it in the Roquefort dressing. Big thing to be teaching you, huh? And away we go. That is, first of all, your tongue is not ready for hot sauce, chicken, and Roquefort dressing. It's kind of a startling flavor, but heavenly. I think it's just great. Really good. Make these. They're fun. Also, try a spaghetti sauce with chicken wings. And don't forget the Chinese drumsticks. These are so much fun. Isn't they beautiful? And if you want to bake wings in a light soy sauce, you have them baked and steamed right here. And then we have some in a pan of the heavier soy that we simmered for a long time, and these are called lude. Don't you love it? Lude wings. And then finally, the wings in salad dressing with a little bit of cheese, grated cheese, and some oregano on top. And, excuse me. That pepper sauce is hot, gang. Anyhow, you'll have a very Italian dish if you put a bit of oregano, cheese, and a good Italian dressing. Not something from a bottle, for heaven's sake. Make your own. And put a little bit of fennel in your Italian dressing. That's what gives it the, well, very terribly Italian flavor. Ground fennel, fresh fennel seed. Grind it up fresh, mix it into your salad dressing, and you're ready to fly, okay? That's it. Now, if you have trouble finding chicken wings, you may have to order them ahead of time from your butcher, because he may not always have these. But he can get them for you anytime you want. Fresh in big bundles, buy about 1.5 pounds for each person, and have a field day, okay? Therefore, eat chicken wings and enjoy. Until we cook together again, this is the Frugal Gourmet. It's good to see you. I bid you peace. Bye-bye.